hope you're all okay. Welcome to yet another activity video, all about coping skills. So yeah, next week we'll be coming at you with a new theme, so stick around to see what that one will be. But like I say, today we're talking about coping skills. So today, I suppose, as we're coming to the end of the theme, I thought we could try and bring together a lot of the things that we've made over sort of this week and last week, and just over the last few months as well. So bringing together some old activities that I've done in these videos, and we're going to be putting them all together in our very own, drum roll please, ta-da, coping skills toolbox. So this is probably something that a lot of people have heard of. It's a very sort of common concept in the mental health and therapy world, but normally it's more of a mental thing rather than an actual physical, real thing that people have. So in therapy, people or counsellors will often talk about having a mental health toolbox full of tips and tricks that we learn along the way as we go through life that help us when we're feeling sad or stressed, anxious, angry, whenever we're not feeling ourselves. So our mental health toolbox is filled with things that we know help us return to feeling more like ourselves. So I figured, why not make this a real, tangible, physical thing that we can hold, that we can put things into, and that we can keep. Because I think sometimes when we're feeling all those emotions, it can be really, really hard to remember how we cope, what we can do, what can help us. So having something like this, a physical thing that we can go to and dive into when we're feeling a bit rubbish, you know, and use the things in here, can be really helpful. So yeah, like I say, today is more about bringing together all of the stuff that we've made before, you know, knowing what works for you and putting them in our little box. So all I've done is I have used an old shoebox, not toolbox. I've used an old shoebox. I've wrapped it in some wrapping paper that I had lying around the house, and then I've stuck on these letters on the top so that I know what it is. You know, your box, it can be, you might want to use a jar, you might want to use a bigger box if you've got loads of big things that you like. But yeah, find yourself a box, decorate it how you like, and then let's get to the fun bit of putting things inside. So let me show you what I've got in my coping skills toolbox. Ta-da! Okay, so a lot of these stuff are things that we have made. Let me put that back to make a little noise. Things that we've made in previous videos. So if you want some ideas of things you can put in your box, then please do. You can scroll back through our Facebook page or check out our YouTube channel, because there's loads and loads and loads of crafty things that we've done on there that you can put in your box. And some of them I'll be reminding you of today if you haven't already seen them. So for example, I've put this little dragon. He's sadly lost an eye. So this was our dragon breath control tube. So the idea is we're feeling a bit anxious, or we start to hyperventilate, we can use this to help control our breathing again. I've also got in here our A to Z of coping skills. So great thing to put in your box, a list of different coping skills that you like and that work for you. So that's a great place to start. If you've seen yesterday's video, I've put in my little coping skills chart along with all the extra cards that go with it. This again, like I said yesterday, is a visual representation of how I'm feeling and how I can cope with that feeling. Then I've also got, from last week, my coping skills dice, and from a couple of weeks ago, my little stress ball. I think it's great to fill your toolbox with sensory items, so I've also got bubble wrap in here because that could be great to pop if you're feeling a bit stressed. Other things you might want to include are things like bubbles or slime. You might want to put in some nice smelling hand lotion that you can rub on your hands, maybe a pair of cosy fluffy socks, you know, a cuddly toy that you like. Like I say, it sort of depends what fits in your box, how big your box is. But you know, try and include things that include a lot of different senses. Things that are going to help you feel calm. And if we're involving the senses, and that sort of almost counts a bit like grounding, doesn't it? So we're bringing ourselves back to the here and now, focusing on what we can see and hear and touch and smell and taste. And that's going to bring us back to the present moment rather than worrying about all the different things going on in our head. And then another thing that I've made this morning for my coping box are these coping skills cards. Ooh, coping skills cards. So these are quite similar to, we made some self-affirmation cards a couple of weeks ago, probably more than a couple of weeks ago now, and I've then attached them to a lanyard. So I've just wrote on the back different skills that I can use if I'm feeling stressed. I've got things like listening to music, call a friend, go for a walk, have a break, have a pamper, do some self-care. And yeah, so fill your box with anything that you find useful. So let me put my things back in my box to keep safe. And you know, and your ways of coping might not be, you know, physical things like a stress ball or like this breathing tube. They might be, you know, things like remembering to breathe, or, you know, grounding techniques or meditation or mindfulness. But things like your coping skills card or your A to Z of coping skills, they can really help. It's just a little list to sort of jog your memory of how you can cope. So they're good things that you can keep in your box. So there we go. So they're all in there, nice and safe. And the idea is that they're all kept together, and then you keep your box safe, ready to be used as and when you need it. So yeah, like I say, not really an activity today, but I suppose I just want to stress the importance of, you know, knowing what works for you, what helps you cope, what helps you when you're feeling all the different emotions, because we're all different, aren't we? We all have different skills and different things that help us, and it's not my place to tell you what would work and wouldn't work for you. It's about learning for yourself what that might be. But what I want to stress is the importance of having them all together in one place that you can easily access. That's really going to help you when we're feeling a bit rubbish and can't see the wood for the trees and can't remember some of our skills. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed that one. If you feel comfortable, please do send us a picture of your coping skills box. I'd love to see them. You can just comment them below or send them to us in a message if you prefer. So yeah, enough waffling from me. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care.